And welcome back to Brad on Brad. I'm Brad.
And I'm Brad!
And we're...
His face looks like an
And this is Dota Tonight. Welcome. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me back on the show.
Absolutely.
We've already lost.
No, this is perfect. This is my plan all along.
I feel like you guys should introduce the
Get these
panel
two
of
guys
Dota
talking about
experts
Dota.
at this
Okay,
point.
and
I don't want to tell you how to run your show, but you should introduce the panel of
Joining us
Dota
tonight
experts that you have
on
here.
Dota Tonight, Lord's Management expert Sean Vanneman from Campo Santo Games. Also,
Bradley.
Lord's Management tolerators, Chris Remo of Campo Santo Games and Jake Rodkin of Campo Santo Games. Also, Lord's Management extremist, anarchist. What do you think?
Keep going,
What do you want to go with? Lord's Management.
Saboteur.
Just look at his face. It's amazing.
It's a full sourpuss
Jeff Gerstmann.
right there.
Do you guys actually want to talk about, what are we talking about?
Dota?
Talk about some MOBAs?
I don't know. Yeah, sure, dude. I mean...
What's funny is I had never met Kessler before.
Yeah.
And then I was having a converstion, and I heard two words, and it was
And you
just
just
like right
instantly
back in
know
my
who it is,
can.
and
It was
it's
like, oh
weird.
my god, Tinker Miss. Like what? Like instantly knew. That we were
Kessler has
yeah.
warded for you so many times.
Not enough.
Well, no, okay.
Never enough.
Theoretically, he would be warding for you.
Yeah,
If he were supporting.
he's warded for me.
Yeah.
He knows what's good for him, you know?
Are you loving this, Chris?
He'll ward for me.
You love it.
I got nothing, guys.
Okay, is it true that Dota Today came about purely because you two guys forbade any further Dota talk on the regular podcast?
Yes.
Yeah, that is
More or less.
absolutely accurate.
That would imply an officialness to the verbotenness
Something can be strongly felt without being official.
Right. You know how like when your
Something can
parents
be
are just
palpable.
disappointed in you
Something
and
can
you
be
don't need to say anything? Yeah.
This has to end now.
Yeah.
Is that wait,
There's nothing official about this glare, but you feel it.
What about
Exactly right.
when is Spelunky today starting?
Oh my god.
Every fucking day.
Every day is Spelunky today.
No, but I mean, like, didn't the Spelunky talk? There's a lot of Spelunky
There's a lot of
talk.
Spelunky
out there.
talk.
I stream that shit every single
I know,
night.
but there's still a
Chris
lot of
does
talk about
a
it.
daily Spelunky podcast live, effectively, that also includes video of Spelunky associated with it. Like,
But I keep that shit segregated.
Have you missed any?
What?
Yeah, I'm with this guy.
No, so Chris,
Do you listen to Idle Thumbs? No, of
Nope.
course not.
I was trying to come up with any, like, one sentence that I could about a recent thing that I saw you do in Spelunky to then just, like, goad you into accidentally talking for 10 minutes about Spelunky, but I couldn't think of anything because I have
You
nothing
don't
to
need
ever
to.
say
I'll
about
happily
it.
do that
Fuck.
anytime. I won't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I won't.
So I took the alternate approach with our podcast and really just in general the entire site. I took the kind of like you're gonna smoke the whole pack approach to Dota and Dark Souls.
Right.
And after about 4 to 8, 9 months, I feel like I'm gonna win eventually.
Right.
Yeah, it's a very hard.
Eventually,
It's more of a carton.
eventually they'll catch lung cancer.
At some point, I will finally throw up.
Then you laugh and laugh and laugh.
Here's one more carton of Cools. Get going.
Eventually, I'll throw
There's some
up and
Newports in the back if you really
I'll
want
get
to.
nicotine sick at some point, and it'll all be over.
Yeah. And then we can get back to.
How is your latest?
Real video games.
I haven't played a lot of Dota.
Yeah.
recently.
Okay.
I love
so
you, Brad Muir.
I need to ask
Literally,
you
like you're one of the
something.
Yeah.
Look
Every
at him,
time I've
he's
asked
easing
you
right
to play
into a real
Dota with me for
conversation.
the last like 3 months, you're like, I gotta get married, I got weddings, I gotta make invitations, I gotta go for the.
Meanwhile, he's
I gotta go to
hosting a Dota
tasting.
podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, all
I did
right.
have to do all those things.
You're
but
married.
You know what?
You're married now.
You know what I don't have to do now?
What's that?
Those things.
Okay, so
you know
are
what
you-
I can do? instead?
Congratulations
Play
on
Dota.
getting
Can
on
you
the
play
other end of
Dota
those
again?
things.
Thank you. Thank
Can
you.
you play Dota?
I can totally.
Okay.
I can totally play Dota.
Does
Not-
the ring get in the way of your
but you-
Dota?
It might actually.
Can you
It's right
manage
on
your
my-
lord
That's a
effectively?
really, that's a
It's
very,
right on
you
my
really,
W.
you went for it too.
What finger
You got
is
like
that?
half a
It's
pound.
right on
that's
my
W.
W.
This
This is yeah. Do you want to zoom in on
That's
that?
like half a pound of
is a, like-
tungsten on his
Do you
head
like
there.
it?
That is very thick.
Brad, can I
It's a-
ask you what metal we're dealing with here?
It's a tungsten ring.
That's what I thought.
Which is
It
so.
weighs so fucking much.
What does that mean?
Is it?
It's like
heavier than
holding a
normal?
roll of quarters if you're gonna knock somebody out. Yeah.
You can. Do you want to hold it?
What magical spell or artifact?
Yeah. So if I
is
hold it, I
activated
am officially
with
married
that
to
finger?
Katie.
With this one, that would be. Let's see.
Like-
That's the W.
Yeah.
It's the W.
Who have you been
spell.
playing a lot of lately?
Who have I been playing a lot of lately?
Oh,
Centaur.
Bristleback.
Bristleback. What is that?
That's your quills.
That's important.
Yeah,
that's an important key.
quills.
That's the
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
quills.
That's the one you gotta hit that thing constantly.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
So
Whoa.
it might give me a good workout
heavy?
now.
Yeah, it's heavy
with
as
it.
hell.
Wow.
I don't know.
That's legit.
Yeah.
That's like a serious ring.
Put the ring on and steal his woman away from him.
Katie's yours forever.
You can't. I learned a lot about metals.
This is good.
Sweet.
So tungsten is really cheap, but it's
Here we go.
it has a oh shit, now I forgot the right term. Are there any metal workers in attendance?
We're all metallurgists here.
Yeah.
I bet there's at least one metallurgist in attendance right now.
Is there a metallurgist here?
Will
Really
Smith.
bad. You're really
Will Smith, get
Oh, Will
over here.
Smith will totally know.
Will Smith would know.
It's unimportant
Well-
what the actual term is.
He's not coming
but
back.
you can't cut it. You can't cut tungsten. So it's actually
How did they make that ring?
They
They found it.
Magic.
I don't know how dude, I don't know these things.
There's just guys who just wander
Yeah.
the fields.
Just with those
Looking
dudes,
for a
those old
perfect.
guys
This
with
would
the
fit Brad me right now.
with the metal detectors.
The original wedding rings were tungsten rings because that's their natural shape because you can't cut them. So
Yeah, totally. So, but they crack. So if you ever break your finger and you have a tungsten ring, and you can't pull it off, you can't snip it like you would a different kind of metal. You have to put it in a vise and crank it in a vise, and then it will shatter. It's fucking crazy. Look it up on YouTube.
So it becomes poignant and symbolic in dark times.
Yes. But it's super weird. I don't know. And there's this thing that they warn you about when you get a tungsten ring called degloving.
Sorry.
That if you get
Sorry, did you
the
say
ring,
deep loving?
He said
degloving.
Oh, I thought I heard deep
You need a ring for that.
Yeah.
Oh, then my laugh is misplaced.
If you were to get it caught and then yank it really hard,
Is it going to take all the skin off your finger?
that's exactly what
It will
is.
deglove your finger.
Deglove
So
your
wait,
finger.
no, let's unpack this. So the ring was so important to you that you were willing to endure those two things.
No, I don't think that I'm
Potentially.
actually
So
going
what are the? Okay, so you've listed all these.
Yeah.
What are the pros of a tungsten wedding ring?
It doesn't scratch. It's really fucking hard.
Okay.
So it doesn't scratch, and it's cheap because I was worried that I was going to lose
interesting.
it. It's
You saved a
cheaper
buck.
than normal. God, that's not how I look at it.
I didn't really have to invest
That's not how I look at
that
my marriage,
much
Fred,
emotionally
right here.
or
Not yet.
financially in acquiring this ring.
You could have just said it was cost effective.
I thought it just looked amazing, and I was like, this looks really rad, and it's like a big hunk of metal, and it's awesome, and it's heavy, and it's I don't know.
A big hunk for a big hunk.
It can be described as the cheap one that might take your finger
Roll
off.
it down.
Thanks. What did you say?
You want a little
nothing.
danger in your life, I think.
I do, yeah, I mean,
as
just the
as a
threat.
game developer, there's not necessarily
Right, and
like
it's
you're
just
gonna
the
get like
threat-
a lesion or
the
something
threat
in your
of
bottom.
degloving, I think adds a little spice to our
I'm
relationship.
still hearing it
Yeah.
as deep loving, so we're good.
Loving.
I'm very happy.
Some deep
This is my
loving.
deep
I have
loving
a question for
tungsten
you.
ring.
Okay, so if one of you undergoes a degloving,
Yeah.
is the other
Just stop saying it.
is the spouse
Will she feel it like
no,
Tom
no,
Hanks
no,
and
no.
Zaymont?
Is the spouse willing
Okay.
to perform a sympathy degloving so that you can share the pain?
I don't think Katie would be down for a voluntary degloving.
I'm trying to gauge the depth of your commitment is all. You know?
How deep is your love?
I would deglove myself for her.
Oh,
Wow.
fucking stop already.
Stop. You used to work with this animal.
I know, it's weird, right?
So, Campo Santo has a video game.
Let's talk about your video game.
Firewatch. I didn't just make that up.
Yes.
That's actually really the
That's,
name.
you got it, yeah.
All right,
That's
great.
only it. Yeah.
That's the Buckfast talking. Bucky, they call it.
It got you right there to it.
So, how far along is this thing? Is it
About-
proper? Is it like
5 minutes along.
so? It's like a name, and you're just like, what if there was, I don't know, fires?
We're just
Look at
sitting
'em.
all
What if you watched
our
them?
feet are up the whole time when we're like, what if? And that's it.
Yeah.
We don't even have computers yet.
We
Yeah, but you probably don't need them.
No.
we spent a lot of time talking about what the website should look like and sort of. And then we put the
Lot of
website up.
yeah.
So that's,
Yeah.
yeah, we got that.
I mean,
done.
Getting the
that's pretty
palette.
good.
The palette
That's
was
like
really
a check
important.
on the
That's
list.
like you're 2/3 the way
The
there.
little icon, you know, when you like open a web
Oh, the
page,
fave icon?
at the top, that was 6 days. So
Yeah, but it works. It
with
shows
like
up
all-
on when you
that
go
was
to it.
everybody though. We had to really workshop that.
No,
No, but we are super early. We announced the game so we could talk about it because we were just. It's really annoying to not be able to talk about the thing you're working on. And so we like threw up Chris actually remade like a really nice custom blog that like we can just keep putting shit about the game on. So that's the whole reason it's weird to announce something early. Like I'd never
Right.
really had that experience before where like we know.
It doesn't come with a trailer and a rollout.
Yeah.
It's
We
like,
announced the game not because it's done, but because we are confident enough that it will exist, that we can tell people that one day it will exist. So then we can start
Yeah.
and it gives you that little bit of like thing in the back of your head, like, okay, we're out there now. Like,
Well,
That's exactly right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We also had
Yeah.
accidentally leaked the name of the game like 3 different times. So it's like if we didn't formally announce it, there would have eventually when we did announce it, people would have been like, "Yeah, we fucking
Yeah,
get
and
it,
it's not-
Firewatch."
we thought it would be a really good idea to have a running joke in one episode. Because Hover, the domain register guys, sponsored an episode of Idle Thumbs where we said the name of the game
Nice.
over and
Good
over.
job. Or plugs rule.
Yeah, plug in the plug zone. Or plugs rule. No, but we don't have a hover ads yet.
Oh, you'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Get
need that. You need that
hover-
$4.
Get that hover money, man. Get your Bucky. Get your Bucky habit fueled by
You know
hover
how many crates of Buckshot or Buckfast or whatever you got there you could buy with that?
do.
With one plug?
all of them.
But yeah, we kept saying the name of the URL.
And then we thought it'd be funny to bleep it, and then we didn't.
Well,
bleep
we thought
one
it'd be funny
of
to
them.
make Chris bleep it.
And then
he didn't
also,
get them all.
We did a live stream of a DayZ event, but then I accidentally moved my mouse to the bottom corner of the taskbar, which hides all your windows, and I had the concept art of the game as my wallpaper, so that also then went up on the stream.
Yeah.
So we were doing a solid job, and I was like, okay, we should
Yeah.
probably
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
As someone who may have had some sort of trademark problem in the past,
We trademarked it.
it before we announced it.
So there is not another video game anything named
No.
Firewatch.
No, fun
Like,
fact about that though.
is there something
Literally-
colon Firewatch? Like,
Are you thinking of Firefall or any
I'm
game
always
that has
thinking
the
of
word?
Firefall.
Oh,
Yeah, totally. It came with that headset.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the text message we got?
Yeah, Cable, the guy who owns Panic, who are they're sort of our partner on the game, and they're providing funding for the game and stuff.
Yes.
He was helping us with some website stuff before launch, and we got a text that just basically said, "Holy shit! I just broke out into cold sweat." Until I scrolled down, and it was a screenshot of the U.S. Patent and Trademark, which said Firewatch, active. Video game, electronic entertainment, and then if you just like scroll down to the next screen, it says Campo Santo. So like he was like, oh my god, I didn't trademark the game. It's probably my job. Oh my god, it's fucking trademarked. Oh, it was those guys.
it's like, you already got it.
It's like, yeah, you're
we're on
good.
it.
You know what you're
It's
doing.
cool. It's fine. It's fine. Good. That's something that you want to do.
Well, we actually have a
Working title
friend. We have a
Trenched.
friend who had a game being published by a major publisher, and it's not you. That they didn't get the
it was
trademark.
called Trenched.
They didn't
Yeah.
get the trademark, and they'd had the
They were working
name
on this game
internally.
called Iron Brigade like a couple months ago. They got fucked.
Yeah, it's a real bummer for them.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to
That
those
game ever
guys?
come out? Yeah.
It's too bad about it.
I love you
Oh,
guys.
well.
Did you guys get the trademark for Massive Chalice at least?
Oh yeah.
You guys locked that down?
Yes, we secured that one.
Did you also trademark massive chalices just in
How
case?
amazing would that be
What
if
a
some
massive
weird
chalice.
There was already
German
something
company
called
came out of
Massive
nowhere and they're
Chalice.
like,
Like, what?
please, massive
Oh
chalice.
my god. Yeah, we can.
This is a massive chalice. I love it so much.
That would be the worst. That would be the worst if it happened again. We had to rename the game again.
Then you just name it Drenched.
Yes.
Back to the underwater
Yeah,
Just
concept.
full-
and-
we're going full stupid after that.
So what is Firewatch?
It's funny,
man.
we were talking about this the other day. We've never really had to pitch it.
Elevator
so
pitch,
it's
go.
really tough. But we don't have one of those.
Where's your media training, man?
We don't do that.
What?
Good.
It's really funny. There's all these things we remember to do, but then there's things we forget to do, like this.
Good. You're better
Like
off.
learn how to explain the game to people.
Yeah, it's a single-player, character-driven story about a guy who takes a job in a fire lookout tower in the middle of Wyoming to get away from like a really like shitty situation he has. And while he's out there, he builds a relationship with his superior, a woman who's in like a distant tower. You can see each other. Well, you can see each
You can
other's
see each other's towers, but you
yeah,
can't actually
but you can't see each other. And on your first day, something weird out in the woods sort of lures you out of your tower, and you explore a space. You sort of like unravel a bit of a mystery, and you like, I guess like reveal like the map, like in video game terms, in very like non-linear ways. So, but the whole game is a premise of you're exploring in first person, finding and interacting with objects a little bit, but mostly traversal and having
just
conversations.
Tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of dialogue.
Yeah, the whole thing was like we really liked a lot of the character stuff we had done and on previous games, and we really liked a lot of the sort of choice-based like emotional relationship stuff from The Walking Dead that we had worked on. And it was like, let's just deep dive on that. It's like you and like a voice in your ear, and you can talk back. You know, like probably talk like having like in BioShock having Atlas in my head was like one of the and I mean obviously everybody always says GLaDOS, but having I was
But for you, it's Atlas.
I was just so ready to meet Atlas, and that relationship just really worked for me for a myriad of reasons. That's not right. That's not good language.
For a myriad of reasons.
Yeah, isn't that right?
I think they're both technically accepted, but for
Sleeve
myriad
Gainer
reasons,
like crapped on me about that yesterday.
Well, Sleeve will do that.
Yeah, he'll do that. Anyway, and we just want to deep dive on that. Like you have somebody there and you can talk back. So, and we're gonna see how that goes. That's the whole premise of the game. You have a walkie-talkie, and I really like the way that.
And what's the ending? How's the story end?
You know what's funny? No, it's funny you say that. So before we announced the game, I was losing it. I was incredibly anxious and didn't really want to talk about the game at all. But it's also because we had an ending that we didn't like. And then about a week before we announced it, we found an ending that we really love. Then we almost got killed by a police chase.
And then we made it back to the office.
Potrero Hill. And yeah,
They happened there, I guess.
we have an ending that we like. Which is, I really think is actually the only way you can start a thing.
Almost die?
Yes.
At the end of the game, you die in a police chase. It's really strange.
Weird.
It's
So it's the
remote.
first person.
Where do you get
It's
your
first
ideas
person.
from?
it is first person.
How many guns and maps and modes are we talking
17 guns,
about?
8
Yeah,
maps.
like team
Okay,
deathmatch.
and let's talk about
boats. Did you
multiplayer.
say
Let's talk about
boats?
multiplayer. Yeah, boats.
Yeah, of course.
Does it have boats?
Four boats.
All right,
We're
good.
going to launch with the multiplayer beta.
Excellent, excellent. When will that end?
what do
you're
I have to
rolling out
pre-order to get
free
into
to play.
To get into multiplayer beta?
Back end for that.
Actually,
Season
not
pass.
even. The game is.
Microtransactions.
Season pass.
Yeah.
Okay, season pass with the microtransactions as well.
Microtransactions, yeah.
Okay, excellent, excellent.
What's funny is we can now do none of those ideas. I'm just like watching business opportunities just go away. I'm like, oh, it could have been okay actually. We bought some hats maybe.
But seriously, the 17 guns.
Yeah,
Let's
probably.
do
Yeah.
it.
Four
So,
boats.
I mean, you're very early going.
Yeah,
Are you at a
yeah.
point where you're like, okay, you know what tools you're going to use to make it, and you're already
Yeah.
creating
We're
stuff
using
beyond
Unity.
concept art?
Yeah, we're using Unity. It was funny. This week was sort of crazy with all the sort of technology announcements with Unity 5 coming out probably later this year.
Yeah.
Unreal's new sort of scheme, I guess. It's like a phrase that you can use, but it has a pejorative, which I don't mean.
Unreal's what?
Their scheme.
Oh, their scheme?
Like it's like $20 plus 5% of your gross. That's not really a great fit for us. But we're really stoked with the things that are coming down the pipe with Unity. We're actually also really stoked with Unity right now. It's been really
Unity's
great for
amazing.
us. Yeah, it's been really perfect.
It really seems like it's just opened a ton of doors for people.
It's unbelievable.
It's
And then
crazy.
actually your former coworker, a guy named Nathan Martz, he has a small company, one-man company making middleware. He just launched a thing called Sector, and it allows you to sort of dynamically...
SECTR.
Yeah. It allows you to dynamically load and unload content in a really like elegant fashion. And we're using that.
Are you guys using that?
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
So, like-
we were one of the test teams on Sector, so it lets you
Yeah.
be
That's
a
rad.
lot more aggressive with sort of at least the feeling of streaming large areas in and out and stuff, which Unity is not very good at on its own. We're also like, dialogue is a huge thing in our game, and we want to do it a very specific way, so we're writing our own dialogue tools. But getting like, in the first 3 weeks of starting the company, we spent a week building desks and computers, and then we spent 2 weeks with no one having really used Unity before, putting together a prototype of just a completely just a terrible version of how like the dialogue system could work, how you could pull the walkie-talkie in and out and have a conversation and run through like a 10-minute mini story. And we got all that done in 2 weeks, having not ever used any of the tech before.
Yeah.
And like when a new person walked into the office, they could pull all of the code down onto their machine and press the play button and it would work, which does not happen anywhere in the world. And it was like, okay, well, this.
Yeah.
At least we can't blame any of this stuff for the game sucking, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely true.
It'll all be on you, not
It'll completely be honest. Well, that's funny, right? Like when you decide, like, oh, I'm gonna get like. I wouldn't necessarily say we're indie. Like we've been fortunate enough to have like some really great folks front money for the game. But when you decide to go out on your own, like all the fucking excuses go away. Like, oh, the publisher wouldn't do this, and they didn't market it right, and they didn't do this, and they didn't do that. It's like we have creative control of the game.
Yeah.
That's the way our deal is structured. So if the game is bad, it's like this is it. Which is all you ever want in your career, and then you get it, and it's really scary.
Yeah.
It's really scary.
Yep.
But
This guy would know, right?
At some point you're like, oh, this is. I have to do this.
Okay,
All right. Okay.
people not liking this will be a direct reflection of me and my core level.
It means they don't like me.
It means they're basically saying, "I wish you were dead." If they don't like
Do
it.
you,
Yeah.
like, but seriously, like that connection to your work, like, are you being serious? Like, I mean, obviously you're joking, but there's
I don't
a
know.
hint of truth at it, right? Like, but
Yeah.
do you really feel that? Like, if people
No.
are like, I hate this game, do you think that, like, therefore it follows that, like, I hate you, Sean Van?
No. I don't.
I don't think people even think about it that far. I think it's actually, I mean, it's definitely true that you want the thing associated with you to be good and to be a reflection of like the things you're trying to achieve with the game. But like, I don't know. I strongly believe that especially when you're working with a small team, when you're making something where there's no like intermediary between you. Like Sean was saying, when we make this game, it's going to be that is going to be it. Like we will have made it, and then people are going to play it, and like they'll feel a certain way about it. I think it's really important as a creator to develop a certain level of like just empathy for the reactions people are going to have.
Yeah.
Like
You're really good at that, by the way.
Thanks.
You're able to articulate that in a way that I don't think most people can. But continue to articulate it. Sorry.
I mean, that's mainly it. I'm just saying, like, I think it's really important to remember that, like, every time someone has any opinion about your game, like good or bad or whatever it is you're making, like website, book, like music, they've had an entire life of experiences that have resulted in like whatever opinion they have, and like you can't take that as like a referendum on you. Like you know what I mean? Like obviously it'd be great and nice if everyone loved every like thing you did all the time, but like you can't get wrapped up in it. Like it's gonna kill you, you know?
I agree. I actually don't pay attention, you know. Like for me, it's like if we all think the game, if we all like it, then that's gonna be, and I'll look at it and be like, oh, I'm proud of it. Jake's proud of it. Like it was worth doing.
If I'm proud of it,
that's enough. If you're proud, I'm trying to make you happy. That's all I want. Touch me, proud of me.
I think I heard you talking about that on Idle Thumbs, and it was really interesting, saying that like you don't read the forums at all.
No, he does.
Because you
I
have
don't.
Jake, and you let Jake navigate those
Jake
waters.
is like
and
my-
you're just like, I can't look at it.
I close my eyes and he takes me by the hand.
He's like your seeing eye dog.
He just leads me
You
through
just
something
take in
awful
the
and make
dark.
a giant plot forums,
And-
and that's nice. That's good to know. That's it. He like cherry picks all the things.
I just read forums
You're-
like made like I lived the way that I consumed game culture and sort of got into game development was through living inside of game forums. And I mean, Chris kind of came in that same ways. Like none of that stuff bothers me because I just know what all of it actually means. Because if I ever accidentally go back and find old posts that I wrote in like 2002,
Yeah.
so you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
So at some point you realize you've been on the internet for a very long time.
It's gross that the internet is old.
Yeah.
The grosser thing
Yeah.
about it, though, is that it doesn't forget anything.
Yeah.
It's all still there somewhere.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
no matter,
Nick
how,
Frickin's
no matter
MySpace.
how old the internet
Live
gets,
journal.
it's still going to be on the Internet Archive. Like, it's still going to be at archive.org. If it's, and probably a lot of other places, too.
Well,
Like,
because eventually someone's just, even if the Internet Archive shuts down, someone will archive
someone
the
will have
Internet
mirrored
Archive.
that. Yeah, exactly.
It's
That shit's
one of those
never
things
going
where
away.
like I feel like pretty lucky that like I'm at where I am now, where there are not a lot of restraints on what I say and do.
Yeah.
Whereas before at GameSpot, when it was very much like not this, there were moments where it was like the things I was doing on the internet were not cool with the people that were running GameSpot.
Right.
They let me know about it very clearly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, there's
so
no-
I go back and look at that
There's nothing
stuff.
for you to get caught out on now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it's not like it's.
I just look at it and go like, yeah, that was also, 15 years ago or, 20 years ago. Like, I was fucking 19 posting that shit. Of course it was garbage. Like, what the fuck do you think? Like, you are 19 now. I look at what you're posting. It's fucking garbage. Like, this is how it works, people.
Yeah,
you will
yeah.
either go out of this or grow out of this, or you will just be garbage forever.
Yeah.
I like to think that I'm going to be garbage forever.
That's what.
like the whole point. Now
like
you
the
can afford to
slogan
be.
for Buckfast. You're just supposed to like. Bling.
Just make sure to label out.
Yeah.
Label out. Do it. Label out. Pinky out. Nice.
How are things on your game?
glint.
Yeah.
On my video game,
Massive
Wait,
challenge.
hold on. You just went off and got married
Yeah, right.
and
Like-
ran around.
Yeah, I'm
Got married
You
and
come
ran
back
around.
and the game is done.
There were a couple of things where like I sort of like God, I almost just said, I set some stuff in motion before I went. I almost just said that. Those words almost just came out. And then
I give those guys some runway.
I like
Think of game
Underwood.
development very much as chess. I am, of course, the king.
So
Go on.
whatever. It was like, oh, I'm gonna be out for a week, and there's some stuff that like we've been meaning to do and whatever. And we had some meetings, talked to people, like cool. And then and everybody on the team was super supportive. They were like, get the fuck out of here. What are you doing? They're like, throw me out of the office, and I like didn't think about it for a week, and it was amazing. And then I came back, and then like a bunch of shit was done, you know. And they were all joking. I don't even know if they were joking, but they were like, oh yeah, it was awesome. You weren't here. Like we just worked on the game while you were not here, and it was awesome. We got all this shit
What's
done.
funny
And I'm like,
is you can
oh my
actually
God.
just watch a documentary about that, can't you?
I probably
It's just
could.
like the
Yeah,
week Brad wasn't here, and everybody's just like, oh my God.
Were you on your honeymoon, like watching the team
Everyone's
stream?
smiling for a
tuning
change.
in?
It's just great.
Yeah.
Did
I
you
was
find?
not.
Did you find it all that like being away from it, even for just a week, like as the project lead,
I did
like you're deeper in that shit than anyone else. Like, did you find that you had, I don't know, like gained any perspective or like did that distance like give you anything?
It was awesome to come back at it and look at it. Like I felt like I could look at it a little bit more objectively, even being away from it for like 1 week, you know,
Right.
just coming back and be like, whoa, look at all this stuff and holy shit. I think actually the bigger thing though, so it's like I was just back. I don't even know what day it is. Is it Thursday?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, I was back Wednesday.
Good.
And I kind of like booted it up and I was looking at it and I was like, oh, this is cool. This is in. But I was still like, you know, sort of like, oh yeah, like this part sort of sucks and this part sucks and these things suck and all this stuff sucks. Because it's sort of like that's where the game is at right now. It's like we came out of pre-production and now it's down in that valley of despair. That's like what that Jake Solomon guy calls it. It's like you're in the like ultimate blue sky thing, and then like as you start making it, it's like you have to cut
It's
stuff.
far long enough to be real, but not far long enough to be good.
Right. Where it's just and all the parts are kind of scattered around on the floor, and we're trying to like build it. You know, we're just at the point where we're gonna like try to put it all together and actually try to make something cool.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of terrible, and I was like, So it was like kind of immediately bumming me out. But then a bunch of people had been coming by the office for like, you know, like giving people tours and like showing them the game and stuff. And they're all like so fucking positive and stoked. And they're
that's
like,
awesome,
that's awesome and whatever. Like the art crew from the new XCOM guy, a bunch of Jake Solomon's bros were by the office today. And Greg, I can never remember his last name. It's like Forch. Do you know that guy? Greg Forch? I think that's his last name. I'm probably
Forch.
butchering it. Forch.
You said
Whatever.
it twice, so
It's locked in.
sounds right to me.
2 points
butcher
maybe.
it a couple
That's a
times.
person.
Greg Forch. Oh no!
You guys hang on for a quick second here. Can you tell Patrick to go get Lang from downstairs? Can you find
God,
Patrick?
Amazing. I gotta wrap
Yeah,
this up pretty quickly then. If Dave Lang's gonna whirlwind up through this
no.
thing. Anyway, it was really
About to be in the Lang.
It was like super awesome, just like showing the game to like other devs and like having them see the game and talk about the game and give us their feedback and whatever, and like that's pretty cool. Even though it's like pretty busted right now, but soon
It's gonna be
it's
hard
like
being on a game where you feel it's busted at Double Fine in particular because the art's always so good. So somebody sees it.
a
and
lot
it's
of the
like,
comments
"Whoa."
are about how awesome the art is, and I'm like, yeah, I didn't
And
do
you're
any
like,
of that.
no, but there's some fundamental shit that's not happening here.
But
And
yeah, I
it's
didn't
like,
do any
look
of
how good it
that.
looks.
Yeah. It's like, well, all right. So, but it's cool. Like, I'm really excited to start working on it again.
I wanna come play it.
Without planning a
I
wedding.
come play it?
Come on. Yeah, just give it a couple weeks.
Okay.
Give me 2 weeks. That's
You have
what I
2
need.
weeks.
I
You
need
have 2 weeks
something
to
to
get it
do.
done.
And then you come back.
Shipping it 2
It's
weeks?
not gonna be done.
You're breaking
It's
that
not
right
gonna be
now?
done.
All right, great. I'm very
I'll
excited.
ship it over here. You wanna play it? Okay. 2 weeks. It'll be awesome. We'll hang out and play it.
Yeah.
Watch some people grow old and die. It's great. Yeah. It's a great fucking game. Look at this. Look at this giant man.
I didn't realize we were
I
getting.
missed you. Oh man.
Oh no, he's fondling himself.
I didn't realize we were getting suited to Dave Lang today.
Oh man.
Jesus
That
Christ.
is one of the most horrific
really awesome.
things I've ever seen.
He's not even
That
wearing
was
a
like-
hat.
Yeah, you're gonna see a lot worse
That
if you
was,
hang
that
on.
was,
It's gonna get.
Was that off camera? They didn't.
Yeah,
that was
no
like
one-
walking
no one
out
saw
of
that.
a movie
Thankfully.
when you're a kid.
Like, yes, it was on camera, and the stream has been killed. The FCC has come in and said we've decided to start regulating the internet.
That's it.
Guys, we
I just feel
decided
like a
right
year
now.
of my life was taken from me there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
you're
was
never getting that
really-
one back. That
no.
You know, I feel like there's nowhere else we can go from here.
after
Well,
the
it's been a
Lang
now
pleasure.
that it's
I don't know
been
what you do.
stunk up by the
Do you
president.
want to talk about Dota a little bit more?
I mean, I could.
Yeah.
We're gonna play some Dota.
Okay.
All right.
You guys wanna play on
You guys
Saturday
play some
morning?
Dota?
You guys
You know
wanna play
what?
Saturday morning?
You know what? I got an email from a very nice guy that I met from New Zealand last night at the W. this
Oh,
morning.
name dropping the W.
And he said, well, whatever. So we were at a bar last night, and he came up to me. He's a very nice guy. I'd never been to GDC before.
Right.
This morning, he emailed me and said, by the way, I went to the free-to-play screening the other night. Here's that code they gave me. So I've got all that shit. I've got that.
All this stuff's real good.
I've got that whole stack of like.
I was up till 3 in the
and
morning after 3 to play.
Courier, yeah.
You're up until 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
You love the hat.
So let's play. Let's play so I can show off my hat.
All right, great.
Saturday morning.
I'll play
Saturday
Dota with
morning.
you. I'm fucking lying. All right.
All right. Hey, thank
Thanks
you.
for coming by. Campo Santo, looking forward to your game in
Yeah.
the fall 2017. Whenever. What you got? What kind of timeline you working on?
Sometime,
None yet?
hopefully, we'd love for it to come out
2015.
next year.
Cool.
We would love for it to come out next year. So we'll
All right.
see.
Well, I'd love to play it next year.
Okay.
So not this year though. I'm busy.
This year, yeah, good.
This year's
Good, that lines up.
this year's all tied up.
Serendipity, that's kismet.
Okay, great. All right,
Great.
terrific. All right, we're going to take a break and flush out the couch and get some new people on here, and we'll be back momentarily. So stick with us.
See you guys.